What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. What I find quite interesting about this, and y'all know me, we getting straight into it. One thing that I find interesting though is the simple fact that how all these individuals act towards the mean individuals, the left mostly, how they act and how they are towards these reporters. Not only. I'm gonna say the left. I'm not gonna say the whole, but I'm gonna say majority. I'm gonna definitely say majority. It's definitely sad, especially when it comes down to Ilhan Omar. When it comes to people that's in office that get confronted about these reporters, you can definitely tell, just how angry. When they get angry, you can definitely tell just by how corrupt and in the wrong they are. Check it out right here. Ilhan Omar caught lying, claiming that she never said that our country should be more fearful of white men. Not only that, don't really say anything when it comes to her financials. Check it out.
Hi, Congresswoman Omar. You were just talking about how Trump's economy has failed the American people, but I think the American people really want to know how you went from a negative 65,000 before coming into Congress to over $30 million in just 7 years.
My disclosure is public now.
Yeah, it is. And so a lot of people now are looking into that and finding S. Crew Winery, a winery that doesn't actually seem to exist. Is that a real winery, or?
Do you all actually look at and read things, or do you just ask silly questions?
Well, it's listed in the financial disclosure, so can you explain it? Because we have a lot of questions about it, and things just aren't adding up. There's no real phone number. There's no real location.
Why did you want to buy some wine?
Probably not from you, to be honest. Recently stated that the American people should be afraid of the white man. They should be fearful of the white man.
I never said that.
Yeah, you're on video saying it.
Our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
No, I did not.
So if you have a person that obviously could lie about something so simple about that, won't she lie about her financials? I'm just saying, you gotta be I'm talking about it gotta be correct. Things gotta be in order. I'm talking about top of the line for you to just boost up like that, having millions of dollars in your bank account. I'm telling y'all, that's wild to me. This is a flashback. I think this is a flashback. Did I put the flashback in here? This is a flashback from January. It's January 16th. Ilhan Omar got confronted over, oversight findings of Minnesota, $9 billion fraud scandal. Check out what she does here, y'all.
Congresswoman Omar, yesterday you told me to please read when I asked you about the $9 billion fraud that you denied is happening, but I have it right here. I read. Look, Chairman Comer opens hearing on massive fraud scandal, $9 billion.
That's what Comer believes because he's as smart as you are.
It's not just Comer. It's Scott Besson. It's federal prosecutors. It's House Oversight. And
no
it's Minnesota State Reps.
You can have that, ma'am. I think you need to get examined because your brain has been fried in some way, and it's not okay. I really hope you get some help. You and the Republicans here. Take care, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read what's actually.
You need one of those learning centers.
I need one of those learning centers.
Yes, see it.
One thing about it, about this is that you clearly see about how much in the wrong Ilhan Omar is and what she's been doing. Not only that, it gets worse with Ilhan Omar. Says here, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar refused to condemn the display of the Hamas flag outside the U.S. Congress during last Saturday's anti-Trump pro-Hamas rally in Washington, D.C. I actually want to show out another rally too, but just check out right here.
Will you condemn the Hamas flag that was flown outside the U.S. Congress last Saturday during Free Palestine protest?
I condemn the smug that's on your face.
So you don't want to condemn the Hamas flag?
Condemn your smug face.
All right, thank you.
And you can definitely tell. I mean, even her husband. What was that like? I ain't even gonna get into that. Y'all know. Y'all know what I'm about to say about the whole husband thing. And I'm sure somebody will, within this video. But it just goes to show you right there of how much Ilhan Omar doesn't care about anybody but herself. Obviously, partially probably her husband and the other Somalians that is within this fraud as well. You literally have it right here. Not only her, it says right here, has been reportedly displayed that, the Iranian flag in place where the American flag used to fly in her private congressional office since the war, has begun. It truly shows you everything. It tells you everything. Not only Ilhan Omar, but Zahra Mamdani and many more, that are doing the same thing. And it's definitely wild that people continue to support, when my thing is this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. And y'all know I'm always wondering with y'all. I look at the simple fact, y'all, that if y'all don't like America so much, the ones that send my comments always got something. Y'all got something to say every video. You're always at the bottom too. Y'all see, if y'all know what I'm talking, yeah, just scroll to the bottom, y'all see. For the people that's always talking crazy, saying this, saying that, if y'all don't like America so much, why are you here? I mean, honestly, I'm not even trying to be mean or no. I'm just saying, like, if you hate America so much, why are you here? I feel like so many people that supporting him, like y'all supporting more so of other countries and not your own. Like, okay, then move. I mean, honestly, move. You got it right here, and this is definitely sad. This is actually, it's just posted, and I'm mad that I didn't cover this, sooner. But you have it right here. You got Turning Point USA, Savannah Hernandez goes off, and it's pretty sad. It's definitely sad on how people act, and this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to acts of violence out of individuals just because, again, that freedom of speech, says, and she said that she's scared to report, Laura. This is my job. It's what I've been doing for the last 6 years. And I'm terrified to do my job. I can't even interview people properly on the street because I get brutally assaulted and pushed to the ground by a 250-pound man and simply going and reporting on anti-ICE activities. So you literally have this, and it's definitely sad that you can't interview people. I feel like that's something that I feel like is pretty cool, rather what side or who you support. I feel like it's pretty cool, for people to go around and interview and just, for people to get their 2 cents in. You literally have everybody doing it. I've been seeing, again, everybody do it. And I've been seeing even, what's his name? The Lemon dude, whatever his name is, Lemon. He'll go and he'll find somebody. And again, I love seeing it. I love seeing the simple, and I probably like Recklezz. You like watching. It's not that. It's the simple fact that I love to see others, reactions of what they got to say. And with Lemon, the thing that I like about when I see his videos, I'm not going to lie, y'all probably going to be mad at me for saying this, because I said I like his, not literally like his videos like that, but I like the simple fact that he'd go up to somebody and he doesn't think that they actually support Trump and what Trump does. So I love to see that. When he walks up and, and some people don't even, it's not even that they blurt out and say, oh, I support Trump. It's just supporting, what's going on right now with what they're doing with the government. So in a sense, when it comes to the Trump administration. So I love to see it. But to see that that things are turning violent, especially towards, the reporters, I definitely don't dig it. I mean, regardless of who you support, what you do, I truly feel as if, that's definitely something that's off limits. Not even to mention, in general. And that's exactly why I don't mess with any type of rallies and stuff like that. So I definitely got to get at, to Savannah Hernandez for, and others that's going out there and interviewing. Check it out.
Why did it escalate so quickly?
Well, let's make no mistake, Laura, this escalated because they found out that I work for Turning Point USA. This isn't the first time that I have been confronted and assaulted at this point for journalism on the streets of the United States of America. But since Charlie Kirk's assassination, this is now the 3rd time that people have come up to me after I have not been interviewing, not been engaging, but simply being on the street and filming a protest, figured out I work for Turning Point USA, and have made a point to confront me, to threaten me, to harass me, and now brutally assault me to prove a point. So that's why this escalated, Laura. I wasn't interviewing anybody. I wasn't engaging with anybody. I was, and I apologize. This is the first time I'm talking about this assault, and I'm scared to report, Laura. This is my job. It's what I've been doing for the last 6 years. And I'm terrified to do my job I can't even interview people properly on the street because I got brutally assaulted and pushed to the ground by a 250-pound man for simply going and reporting on anti-ICE activities. I made a point not to engage, Laura, because I know the left wing is violent. They assassinated Charlie Kirk last year, and now they're coming for each and every single Turning Point USA employee because they know they can get away with it because the local jurisdictions aren't going to charge them. Now, luckily, the sheriffs are planning on bringing 4 charges. I hope. I did tell them
they are bringing charges. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna get. I think I got Tom Homan. That's got something to say too.
I wanted to press charges. This has been elevated to both the DOJ and the DHS. They are opening an investigation as well. But I'm horrified, Laura. I'm horrified.
Well, this is the United States of America. You were just standing there, and I know exactly how you feel. Because they surrounded me the same exact way, and they start screaming in your ear, and you stuck around there a little longer than I did. I got in my car because I didn't want to deal with this. But this is their MO. They don't want anyone there because they don't want anyone knowing the truth about how many of them are paid, how this is organized, who's funding it, and what they are really all about. They don't want anyone to know. If they were proud of their movement, they'd be like, welcome, we'll be happy to talk to you. But they don't want that.
Absolutely, Laura. And this attack was so horrific that you now have the radical left-wing streamers and left-wing activists coming out and denouncing this attack, saying, oh, we shouldn't touch women. That's probably a bridge too far. But again, I was targeted because I work for Turning Point USA, because I'm a brown woman who thinks the wrong thing, because I am a Christian. They were mocking me for my religion. They were mocking me for my political views. They, like I said, they told me that I had no right to be on a public street, and they made sure to run me out and brutally assault me multiple times as I was trying to leave. So that's the United States of America in 2026. And my main question is, how was this allowed to happen in President Trump's America? So,
well,
Laura,
the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office better do its job here, because if there was a message from on high, this will not be tolerated, then it wouldn't have been tolerated. And the feeling here is that it's okay to do this.
My thing is, if this is the other way around, this would be everywhere. I almost had me cussing. This would be everywhere. I ain't gonna lie, this would be everywhere. If this is the other way around, and it was, a leftist journalist, a leftist reporter going out there and doing this, it'd be everywhere. Oh, the Trump administration, this is what, your people do. This is what MAGA does. This is what, y'all know what they're gonna do. Truly, they're going to have it everywhere. And I truly feel like it's just messed up to where you only have, at times Fox News and other people like myself that's going to put this information out here. Because, and it's sad. I remember for the first time when I was doing these videos, I always wondered, because y'all got to think, I came from a family of Democrats. I come from a family of Democrats. And I would always just think that the Democrats, being a Democrat was just the best thing ever. And I know y'all probably like, what? But I always used to think that it was just the best thing ever, just because you got to think of, I grew up, with a Democratic family. So my dad was, I would always see, and he would talk about, different things and bring up different things, or he'd be watching something and I see something going on. And then, I would see different things going on. But as I started to watch these videos years back and seeing what actually what real, I never forget the video, and I always talk about it. And y'all probably know what video I'm talking about. There's a video of an older guy, a black man, that wanted to see how a Trump rally was. And he went to this Trump rally, and the people that he was walking with obviously were Trump supporters, I'm pretty sure. And he talked to them and stuff like that. And people would talk crazy to those Trump supporters. So then they moved on and went to where, obviously you had a bunch of the leftist crowd. And as they was talking, and yelling and spitting and doing the most towards the Trump supporters, the man would ask questions on why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all? They started yelling at him. So it goes to show you that when it comes more so of that violent party, when it comes to rallies, when it comes to protests, it is the left. It's nothing to bash nobody. It's nothing to, talk crazy or point fingers. That's what it is. It's the truth. Y'all see how bad it is. Just because she's a Turning Point USA reporter doesn't give you any type of reason to put your hands on somebody. Yes, you have people that get loud and this, that, and the other. You're going to have those crazy actions. But at the same time, it doesn't give you a right to do that at all. And that's how I feel. No matter who you are. I don't care if you go in there and you love Barack Obama. Again, I don't feel like anybody that's on the right should be able, and should touch. That is more so of that discussion. That's how I am, and that's how I be. Mind you, this has, again, not even trying to put color into it. She said that she's a brown woman, and it's that I don't care what color you are. I don't care about none of that at all. Stop putting your hands on people. That goes to show you that you in the wrong, and you in the wrong about some shit when you got to put your hands on somebody. I'm telling you. You got it right here. Tom Homan stands up for Savannah Hernandez, saying he is glad these losers will be charged by the DOJ because he doesn't trust sanctuary city juries. So trust and believe. They will be in trouble.
That's why I'm grateful the FBI is stepping in. DOJ is going to seek prosecution on this because at this point, I don't trust any local jury in a sanctuary jurisdiction. I'd much rather see the feds pick it up and charge it with a federal crime because the sentence is going to be a lot more stringent and it sends a strong message. But we cannot give up on this. We got to keep prosecuting these people. 18 U.S.C. 111, interference, assault, record high number of prosecutions. We got to continue down that path and hold these people accountable. We cannot accept this as a norm in the United States. That's why.
And you have it right here, and it's truly messed up. I'm not gonna lie, it's truly messed up that she even have to go through this and people putting their hands, on her just because they don't like what the questions being asked or because she is a Turning Point USA reporter. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely sad and sickening that, people are doing this and they should be ashamed of themselves. Goes back to show you just how bad things are, not only, going on in Minnesota, but for Ilhan Omar when it comes down to it. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted with this video. It's Benny Johnson, but you got Ilhan Omar in the Congress in 2018 with a massive $65,000 debt. She's worth now $30 million. Her salary was $174,000, y'all. No reason. I'm telling y'all. Absolutely insane. Check it out.
How did the poorest member of Congress become one of the richest members of Congress in just a few short years and she wasn't even born here? Ilhan Omar is the key to unlocking everything with the Somali fraud. Ilhan Omar has said many times that she is here to represent the interests of Somalia, and that's exactly what she's done in Congress. But she's also represented her own interests. Ilhan Omar entered Congress in 2018 as the poorest members of Congress. She had a negative net worth, negative $65,000 due to student loan and credit card and car debt. You'll find that at $174,000 a year, if she saved every single penny, she'd be worth a couple $100,000 after she paid off her debt. But that's not the case. Ilhan Omar is insanely rich. She's worth $30 million. How did that happen? Two things: massive fraud and her shady-ass husband and his shady finances inflating and ballooning exponentially Ilhan Omar's net worth. Ilhan Omar passed the Meals Act in 2022. This is an act that majorly deregulated the federal government's oversight of meals programs for children. This is the same act that was used by her friends in Minneapolis in order to defraud the federal government of nearly $500 million. Ilhan Omar even worked at the kitchen that was committing the fraud, feeding the fake children, the real problem in Minneapolis, the daycares and the food centers. But then you get to Tim Minette. This is Ilhan Omar's third husband. This is a shady Democrat operative that launched venture capital firms at the exact same time that Ilhan Omar and her friends were defrauding the American taxpayers with the Meals Act. Those venture capital firms were stacked with Obama and Democrat operatives, and guess what? Their valuation ballooned at the exact same time that the fraud was going on. Rose Lake Venture Capital is listed as a $30 million asset on Ilhan Omar's disclosures, yet they don't even have a physical office in Washington, D.C. For such a successful firm, you'd think there'd be something more than a WeWork address, but that's all they've got. And they're also scrubbing the names of their board of directors, which used to be staffed with a bunch of Obama officials, former ambassadors, and DNC apparatchiks, now completely gone. What's going on here? Also, a bankrupt and fraudulent wine company is also listed on Ilhan Omar's financial disclosures as being something that is paying her something like $1 million to $5 million worth of net worth, even though this company is totally fraudulent. It's not real. You call it, it's not a real number.
Well, let's go ahead and give him a call and find out. Oh no, user busy. Well, I've done this like 20 times today. Nobody ever answers because this wine company's fake. It was sued into bankruptcy because of, you guessed it, fraud.
The name on one of their wines? The Devil's Lie. You can't make this stuff up. So Ilhan Omar has become obscenely rich in 1 year, going from one of the poorest members of Congress to one of the richest because of a shady venture capitalist company that nobody knows where their money's coming from, at the same time that the massive Somali fraud's ongoing and being paid by a defunct wine company that doesn't even have an operable phone number. The Devil's Lie. Ilhan Omar needs to be fully investigated for this fraud and her connection to it, and we need answers. We can't.
Definitely. One thing about it, I'm gonna keep on applying pressure and keep on doing what I need to do and keep on watching and keep on letting y'all know, because a lot of this stuff isn't going to be shown in the mainstream video. I'm telling y'all right now, it's not. It's not at all, and it's definitely sad. You know, you got it right here. Ilhan Omar was caught seeking $1 million in taxpayer federal fund dollars for a substance abuse clinic that turned out to be a restaurant run by 3 Somali men. I'm telling y'all. Says she needs to be the next resign from Congress for corruption and investigated. This stuff is just like it's like it keeps happening. It keeps happening. This and the thing is, on what brings my frustration to it is the simple fact of this is the type of stuff that you want. This is the type of stuff that you actually voted for. I voted for. That needs to be fixed ASAP. Check it out.
One of our spending bills making its way through Congress was a $1 million earmark from Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, which was an earmark that was supposedly going to a substance abuse clinic, which actually happened to be housed in a restaurant and run by 3 individuals that share the same residential address, according to their IRS paperwork. Tons of red flags. So this is what we saw with the fraud involving the daycare centers. Now we see other earmarks coming directly from members of Congress where it seems fraud is being perpetrated as well. So I raised the issue, and fortunately, the House has now stripped that earmark out of that spending bill. But again, this is how easy money has been flowing to bad actors in Minnesota.
I'm telling y'all, and they steady just doing it. They obviously not seeing too much going on, so they obviously going to keep on doing it. And it's definitely sad they're even doing this. I'm not even going to lie. You have this video here, this Alpha News senior reporter Liz Collin reacts to Vice President J.D. Vance saying Ilhan Omar definitely committed to immigration fraud, which I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen the video, so I know I ain't got to play it. But I'm telling y'all, it's definitely crazy. One thing that I do have to show y'all and tell y'all and let y'all know, and I've said this many, many times, and I'm definitely glad, that I can, bring it up. It's a simple fact that I have to give it not only, to everybody that has been on top of it, not letting anything, go, because a lot of this they're not going to show. I think I seen something earlier, but it had nothing to do with Ilhan Omar. They talk about, fraud. They talk about this, talk about that, but they're not putting those names up of who's actually doing it, and it's definitely sad. One thing about it I got to get at, the Nick Shirley says he exposes hundreds of millions and fraud. His videos gets millions of views because, and it's good that it's doing that. It's definitely good because even if it's not drawing people to where it's like, I'm probably not going to believe what he's saying. It's still drawing people to realize what's truly going on and giving that thought in their head, like, are they actually doing this? Says California wants to pass a law making exposing fraud legal. Penalty could be up to $10,000. said they're scared of the young man in the hoodie. Not only that, they're scared of a lot of us. Ain't even gonna lie. And it's definitely sad. I always sit here and I've been having a tough really year with getting a lot out that I wanted to. Last year definitely, but this year it's definitely been a crazy tough year with getting, things that I want to get out, when it comes to a lot, I'm telling y'all, definitely crazy. But we're going to talk about that in the next video too. One thing about this though, that I want to ask y'all. I want to ask y'all a couple questions because I've seen these pictures and I want to see how y'all feel. So who else is sick and tired of the entire Democratic Party putting foreigners and the people that is doing the bad things above American citizens? Y'all let me know in the comments. Also, to let me know in the comments, says the fact that Ilhan Omar is still sitting member of Congress shows how corrupt our government is. Do y'all agree with it? Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments. Catch y'all next one.